Freds.
Yeah.
So, can you please tell us a little bit more about your characters and what was it like working in this production?
Go, Fred.
Yeah, well, we are the Struckers.
Meet the Struckers. That's what we wanted to call the show.
We wanted to do like a sitcom afterwards called Meet the Struckers.
That's a web show, I'm sure.
A web show, yeah. That's our life before.
That should be like
we just get
every
into
5
little
minutes.
hijinks
Yeah.
every.
Oh my God, what's he broken now?
Yeah, well, we are the parents, and when you meet us, we have this pretty privileged life and are, in a sense, profiting off of his job, which is to prosecute mutants and what we think is keeping society safe and, really not acting in any way that's outside of the norm of what is accepted. And so when we find out our own children are mutants, everything turns and we have to go on the run and find ourselves trying to risk and do anything to protect them because of our insider information of what could go wrong if they get caught.
So did you know about the twist in the end and how that's going to obviously affect your relationship, that you guys are not together in all of this? So
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been doing this a long while, and you read a lot of pilots, and when I read this one, I was really impressed by how well structured it was, and the idea that they get separated. It's great drama, they're going through the portal at the end, and he doesn't make it. But that's all we knew. We didn't have anything past that, and not until we started up really shooting did we find out, did we, what was going on. So it's. But I think structurally, it's what I loved about it was the fact that it's this couple learning this whole new world ahead of them, but trying to keep their family together, trying to hold this unity together, and obviously my character he's made some very serious choices along the way that he thought he was doing the right thing, and he's going to have to deal with that. There's a lot of baggage to unpack and a very lumpy carpet to deal with.
I've been asking all of your fellow castmates this question because I'm curious from an actor's perspective, particularly for this show and the showrunners that have such a great track record.
Yeah.
What surprised you the most when reading something on the script and then seeing it on screen? Whether it doesn't necessarily have to be, visual effects related, but just even how another actor portrayed a character, things of that nature. What surprised you the most? And both of you, I'd like to hear your perspective.
I think something that we really didn't know at all was going to be in there were all the little X-Men comic Easter eggs. So when we didn't know that the ringtone was going to be from the cartoon and all of that stuff. So that was really exciting to see how they're kind of even thinking on it on another level and putting things in that wasn't ever written in the script. That was in editing that they decided to make.
And
these things
truthfully,
happen.
there were a couple of things that we didn't even know when we watched it until they were pointed out to us. So that's a really nice detail. We haven't seen anything on from one either. So there will be elements that we will learn about, obviously as we go. I was surprised at how funny it was. That was surprising. I thought it was really, really nicely kind of. There's a lot of drama. There's some nice bits of humor. I think Percy's spectacular in that first episode. It's a really strong cast, and I think Percy's pretty amazing in that pilot. He's a 15-year-old kid, and when you're working with somebody and you're watching them and you're kind of going, oh, he's good, that's interesting, she's great, oh my God, he's great. But there's something, sometimes when you see somebody perform who just are very natural in front of a camera, it's really lovely to see.
So a lot of your other cast members have mentioned that they are fans of the X-Men and that they seem to be very savvy about the comics and the cartoons. How about you guys? Are you guys big fans of X-Men? Do you not know too much? Like, where do you guys fall on the fan scale?
well, he's lucky because he's married to one, so I feel like he wins automatically. But I played a little catch up here. Like they gave us access to the online Marvel library, so we were able to go read some of the comics, and I had seen a few of the movies but went back and watched the rest of them to catch up. So I was definitely learning on the job, and I'm still it's still interesting to see. I mean, Derek, who's here, has taken. He was showing a shot the other day that he did for the last episode where he had actually the frame, a picture of the frame from the comic, and was matching it to something. And I would not say that I know it well enough to have been like, oh, that's that shot. But the fact that people will have that experience, I think, is really cool.
I was not an X-Men reader when I was young. I was Spider-Man, and honestly, I've still got some of my Spider-Man annuals and some of the original cartoon. Well, I remember when Tobey Maguire, when that first movie came out, flying through the streets, I literally, viscerally had this flashback to being 8 years old and flying through the streets, and that was all I was interested in. That said, of course, I'm completely aware of the world, and for me, what the X world represents is what's fascinating to me, you know, and written as a reaction to civil rights and how it's been adopted by marginalized groups. It's really important. I think it's very important at this time in society. You know, we're living in a polarized society, and if in some tiny way we're able to make people sort of view things differently, then that's great on top of a really fun piece of entertainment.
So what is it like being the humans on the show? You know, we have all these mutants, but you guys don't have powers. What's it like? Yeah, like that's
We both really like that.
I got to be honest. I think it's what makes the show a little bit different to other shows. It's not about saving the world. It's about surviving in the world. And for us, it's about our characters dealing with this change that's upon them, and how they adapt and protect their family. And so, for me, having done 7 years, and Amy's been on a lot of, you know, genre stuff. Having done 7 years of playing somebody with a superpower, it's really nice to be somebody who is dealing with what they have as opposed to some sort of added extra.
And just being sort of the eyes through which the audience is seeing it all unfold as well is interesting, and I think goes back to what Steve was just saying about our characters are going through a big change of what they thought was right and what they did in their lives before, and having that happen on screen and kind of showing that it is, you are able to change your thoughts, and you know, you can believe something and then make a new choice. So I like that part of it.
I like that part too.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you guys.